Hello and welcome to the Knitmancy podcast. I'm Valentina, your host, coming at you from just south of Richmond, Virginia. It's been a while, so we're going to call this episode 1 and just fresh start it all. So, I'm Valentina. You can find me at Ravelry as Knittermancer, on Instagram as Middle of the Madness, and on a lot of other places as gnollprincess, multiple social medias because I'm something. Most of it's all under gnollprincess because that's my Twitch stuff, and that's where we're going with that. So I've got things that are done, things I'm working on, plans for the future, things to talk about. Not a ton of any of those, but definitely stuff. My hair's doing all sorts of wacky stuff. Nope, that's not the way it goes. There we go. Camera reversed. It's getting me. So we will start off with my finished objects, my finished stuff, and we will move into my works in progress, plans for the future, and we will see where we go from there. There's also going to be a lot of overlap just because my brain doesn't work in a straight line all the time, so we'll see. So welcome back if you have watched previously, and welcome if you are new here, and hit subscribe and all that stuff. So, finished objects. What have I done? I'm only going to share the most recently finished and not everything I finished since the last time I recorded, which is good long while ago. But here we are. So what I have finished is the Potomac cardigan by Ventre. Hands going all over the place. It is a fingering weight long open front cardigan with reverse stockinette sleeves and reverse stockinette patch pockets and lots of ends that I need to deal with. And it is knit in KnitPicks Stroll Tweed in the rabbit colorway, which is this really cool heathered brown, and it sometimes goes really gray depending on the light. Right now it's pretty, it's showing up more brown and less gray on the camera. And it's a nice long open front cardigan with tons of ribbing. And we'll stick this on. Very long sleeves. Sleeves are outrageously long. I love it. The collar is all ribbing, and it's raglan shaping. Let's see. I'm really close to the camera. So yeah, see, it's long. There's my butt. Yeah. So it's long, it's cozy. It's also, because it's fingering weight, it's a lighter cardigan, even though it's long. I just finished sewing the pockets on this morning. Well, I sewed one on last night, one this morning. Either way, pockets, long sleeves. It's pretty much in my book, a perfect. See, I'm sitting here just trying to adjust, make sure that everything is sitting about right. Perfect type of cardigan that I would want. And it comes out of the Nomadic Knits, DC, Maryland, Virginia, the DMV episode of the DMV book. So yeah, it's cool. I can't say it's cool. It's awesome. I love it. I'm just now getting to wear it. And before I move on, we do have a little bit of spinning. So this is a chain plied BFL silk, 75/25 BFL silk yarn So it's a 3-ply, but it's been chain plied. The fiber is from Into the Whirled. It is in their Fen colorway, which is lots of blues, greens, browns. Let's try this. Blues, greens, browns, darker shades. Come on. There we go. Facing the weak one. Start with auto-focusing. There we go. I do it manually. There you go. Yeah, so you see blues, greens, browns, blacks. And it's roughly a DK weight. This was the last little bit of it that I had to spin, so I have like 3 skeins about this size of just this. And I had bought just a single 4-ounce bag of it. I think I'm going to turn it into a hat. We will see because of how the colors are. I went with the chain ply to try to keep a lot of the colors together. There's still some marling, but that's, I'm really not too bothered by the marling or the barber poling. When you knit with it, it marls. So there we are in our tiny little skein. I really like it. I really like the fiber. This is actually still slightly damp, and across all 3 skeins, it's all fairly balanced, which is excellent, and it will look really beautiful and like just plain stockinette, I think. So that's everything I have finished within the past like week. Past day, actually. I finished both of these things. Yeah, I finished the knitting on this like 2 days ago. So past week, and I just finished this up last night. So let's move into my works in progress, and of that I have a slight problem. A slight problem in that I get yelled at when I cast on new things right now. And a lot of that has to do with the problem of a lot of these things that I have cast on already are very large, time-intensive projects. So I guess let's just start. First up is I have started a Hue Shift Afghan. This is a pattern and a kit. I actually got the kit from KnitPicks. It's not very color accurate. Let's see. That's better. Oh, yep, there we go. I got the rainbow kit from KnitPicks. So this is all Brava Sport. The pattern is by Kerin Dimeler-Laurence. Again, a lot of this is all published through KnitPicks. It's their Brava Sport, which is 100% acrylic, which is fine because of the blankets. And when it comes to blankets, I prefer them to be real easy to get clean, especially with how my life has gone. So I noticed that I was on this square. So it's an Afghan, which is knit in, okay, no, that's not working either. Knit in 4 pieces, and then with an attached border. And through KnitPicks, they have a bunch of kits. You can get a kit, and their kits aren't, for this one, it's not that bad, and I was even surprised on how much yarn it really takes. And it comes out and makes a blanket, and yeah. And each color kind of is meant to blend into like the next one. So you have an entire row where you have entire rows and an entire column where the purple is in every square, and then you get the same thing except this one is color. Well, like the white balance on this is pretty bad. Even this wall behind me is white. And then you have one with with all of the pink, which is actually, I'm doing the pink all the way down. And it's like you do 4 5x5 squares, so there's like 100 squares total, and you knit each square one at a time, and just, yeah. So here's that. Second blanket I will mention, let's see. Needle sizes. I am knitting this blanket on US 5 3.75 millimeter needles. They're my Chiaogu interchangeables. Next up, I have a crochet one. Oh, look, it's another blanket. Oh my goodness. It's not a granny stripe. It is the Fireside Gingham blanket. Again, this was or Fireside Gingham Afghan, which is another kit. I think it's like pillow and blanket kit. Again, through KnitPicks. Again, it's Brava Sport. So I might not be mentioning color names because they came in kits and I don't necessarily know the colors, especially because I had an incident where a lot of ball bands just got separated. But I think this is black, wine, and then red. Yeah, and it's a cool thing. I think this one's actually a free pattern. Let's see. Yeah, it's got a pretty neat like stitch to it. I'm sitting here manually adjusting my focus. It's a really neat like stitch, which I think they call the star stitch. And yeah, you alternate the color. I'm pretty sure this is the free pattern. You alternate the color according to what the little chart that they give you in the pattern. This blanket, the Afghan, and the pillow were designed by Donna Barranti. I'm gonna say that's how you pronounce it. Again, all names will be down below. So bear with me. Bear with me. Yes, and yeah, I'm really excited about I leave this one typically like in the living room so that if I can get some work done on it, I will, although this one's a little bit more slow going than the Hue Shift Afghan. I am using a Clover F 3.75 millimeter hook. There we go. It's got like little rubber grips. Yeah. The crochet hook. Okay. Now we will move on to even more blankets. These two I don't keep in bags, and the Hue Shift Afghan I actually keep near all of my gaming stuff, so that and my laptop and stuff, so that I have somewhere to sit and just something to sit and work on. Hello phone, you keep going off. In a big old Fiberspace bag. I love Fiberspace. I have not Fiberspace. I have yet another blanket. So this is the Northeasterly blanket by Skeinanigans. I have so many yarns in here, and well, I guess I'll just do a quick like touch through on what some of these are, because I don't remember all of them, but I know we have quite. So this one, this, no, look, there's that one again. Those are all KnitPicks Felici. The white is KnitPicks Stroll. This is Ancient Fiber Arts. It's their calico color, but it's in their base that's like wool, acrylic, nylon. It's got like everything in it. Mohair. So it is fuzzy. The fuzz is not showing. This is Bumblebee Acres. I want to say Coquette Sock. Could be wrong on the base, but it's in their It was one of their Game of Thrones colors. Oh Lord. It's the master of the books. I can't, what's his name? Samuel Tarley. This is KnitPicks Stroll. There we go. Yeah, there's KnitPicks Stroll. This is West Yorkshire Spinners in their 4-ply sock in gray color. This white one here that is going crazy, I believe this is Lemonade Shop. I can't remember the color. Let's see. Can I figure out any other ones? This one is a really cool one too, and I can't remember what the base is. Yeah, and I've got some more Bumblebee Acres, like their Outlander, some of their Outlander minis mixed into some spots. Like there's another Outlander mini. But this is using all of the scraps that I have, and that's why it's in this big bag, because I've got more Bumblebee Acres, and that's Into the Whirled, Moscow Mule, more Bumblebee Acres. This one is their Coquette sock in the Old Forest. This one is their, whatever their merino sock one is, in Rivendell, because I made wedding socks. This is Neighborhood Fiber Company Studio sock in the Banksy color. One of my favorites. Fiber for the People sock. I think it's in Gunslinger. It's one of my favorites. She doesn't dye it. I have a Galentine mini set by you would think that I could figure it out. I had another order by this one. Junk Yarn, that's what it is. It's the Junk Yarn ones. Which has Lizzo, Amalia, Vintage Barbie, Teeny, and Chrissy, although they are not in the order that is necessarily true of, because they fade really nicely into each other. This was her Peachy Keen Galentine set. Tiny little bit of Outlander, some more Outlander yarn. Oh, more Into the Whirled. This is Quoth the Raven, another of my favorite colorways. Got some black that I think is a fibrous. It's fibrous, and it's their fingering base that's got like yak in it. Oh, would you look at that, more fleechy. So a lot of these scraps are scraps from my other, well, from stuff I've knit, and then also from my other scrap blanket that I'll show in a little bit. And this I am knitting on, I believe it's US 2. Yes, US 2 2.75 millimeter Jiagu interchangeables. Even though I want to get, I think I want to get just double pointed needles to do this on instead, so I can free up the cord. Really all that is. Did I drop yarn? Nope, I just, okay, cool. And now for the final thing that I have, yes, I mentioned that was Northeasterly by Skeinanigans in this Matter Root bag, which has this beautiful alpaca on it. I want to free up this bag. I have Fred. What is that on? Oh, it's just one of the squares. Yes, this is Fred. I figured out why that's doing that. Okay, let me try that again. Fred, yes. Fred is my Brioche Memories blanket. He is massive. I love him. I have been working on him for years. The pattern is by Valerie. Sorry, I'm not going to try to pronounce her last name because I know I'll butcher it. She was Valerie is Knitting, and now she is Joyance Fiber Arts. So Joyance Fiber Arts, Valerie, beautiful, beautiful pattern. I love this pattern. I love picking up my blanket. I love putting work into my blanket. I've not been doing that a whole lot because mostly just because I sit here and I'm like, I'm going to run out. So in this blanket, I have everything from, let's see, I have got Urban Girl Knits. This was a one-of-a-kind colorway. I've got like West Yorkshire Spinners. I have plenty of Neighborhood Fiber Company. I've got the Rivendell color from Bumblebee Acres. I've got plenty of Felici. More Bumblebee Acres. These two are both from that mini set. This one I think is Little Fox. Into the Whirled. There's Samwell again. There's the Moscow Mule. Love this color. Yeah, no, there's West Yorkshire Spinners. It was their Robin color. I have another skein of it. So excited about that. And yeah, this is my ever-growing blanket. I love it quite dearly. One day I will finish it. I'm thinking of more Felici. That's West Yorkshire Spinners, right? Yeah, it's not soft enough to be Felici. I'm thinking when I finally get this blanket to the size that I really want it to be, that is showing up looking, that's like this one's a pink one, not like nearly as red as it's showing up. Let's see. This white one is like blowing out everything. There we go. Yes, it's pink. A lot of the white ones are just so blown out. I don't really put much thought into how the colors go. I just kind of throw them in so it looks very patchwork. I love it. As I was saying, I think when I get to the point of actually finishing it, I'm just going to go ahead and pick up and knit some sort of border on the edge. It'll be probably like a really short garter stitch border or something to just sort of help even out some of the edges, because I have everything from like fingering weight yarns up to what could probably, like, it's at least a solid DK weight. Actually, I know some of these are in fact DK weights. Like, oh, where's my egg dyeing experiment? I had just seen it. It's in here somewhere. Because it's a very, very pale base yarn. I have no clue where it is right at the second. Oh, I know this one's DK. Can't remember who it's by. Oh, there it is. This one's DK. And I don't mind them being in here. Like, you can tell it's thicker, but it really doesn't bother me all the same, because it's still yarn I used. Yeah, so I think when I'm done, I'm going to pick up and just knit a border along the edge. I know that my fiance and I have decided we want this to be pretty big. And right now, if I square it off, it would be enough for like a little lap blanket. And on this, I am knitting on more Chiaogu needles. At least this time they are double pointed needles, and they are the size 4, 3.5 millimeter, just metal Chiaogu pins. And yes, so I have managed to talk for almost 30 minutes, and this is quite impressive for me. having not a lot to say. So let me fold this back up and put it back in its bag. And generally what I'll do is, as I use the yarn for this blanket, I will just move the ball once I've done my square, because I'm trying to avoid repeats in this one. In the Northeasterly, it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter to me, and the Northeasterly is actually going to be a gift to my mom, so. And also in here, I've got like some lavender. A lavender sachet. Very nice, very nice. So, normally I stick these needles in the blanket so I don't lose them. So if you were wondering how big like these drawstring madder root bags are, it's got a blanket in it. Given not a complete blanket, but a blanket. So, stuff, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Let's talk. So since you last seen me, I have finished up everything I needed to do for college. I actually just completed that last week. I think it was last week because if things hadn't gone the way they did, I would actually still be at school. Just checking my calendar. Yeah, I would, if things had gone differently, as in there wasn't a global pandemic, I would still be at school. But due to global pandemic, here we are. And because I ended up having to move out, well, no. Left for spring break, had had an extra week, then they just decided to go online altogether. Then I moved out. But because adjusting nose rings, during spring break, because already had this plan, we ended up moving into a house, my fiance and I. And over the last couple of weeks, like after we did that, we kind of got settled, we got unpacked. I'm sitting here currently in the office, and like right over there from me is where I'm normally sitting, and it's set up to look the way that I want it kind of to look. It's not perfect, but it's there. But after all that mess and global pandemics determined stay-at-home orders put in place, I've gotten to stay here, and it's constant work trying to just make sure the house is upkept the way that we all want it to be. But yeah, here we are. And then Maryland Sheep and Wool was virtual this year. During that time, I picked up a couple of fleeces and might be able to show them off. That's a whole spinning thing. I picked up like a Gotland and a Navajo True fleece. I'm very excited. Did that instead of buying yarn. I also have some plans that once I get to a good place with one of these blankets, not neither of the two scrappy ones, because they are scrappy and they're meant to be long-term projects, but like the Hue Shift Afghan, which is probably the one that's going to be done sooner rather than the crochet one, just because there's a dog and he likes to play with yarn. He's a pain in my butt, and you heard me talking about him probably. Got a baby gate up so he can't come. A lot of the yarn stays in here. At least as I'm working on it, it comes and it stays in here. But yeah. So, life. Yeah, that's been life. We have a fenced-in backyard, and it's great. It's great. The booby loves it. Everyone else, so our fish, our hamster, and all of them made it safely to the house. And while we're settled and we're comfortable, we still have a lot of work to do. Our basement needs to be planned out and fixed and dealt with. Have some minor flooding issues with that. Nothing major, but water gets in and that is a problem. It's a 3-bedroom house. One of our bedrooms is still currently being used as storage, and we want to turn that into a craft room at some point. Computers, my gaming stuff, that all stays in the office here. Yeah, I think that's about all I have because, I've been hanging out here. Maybe next time we can talk about some spinning stuff. We will see. Hopefully I can do this every week. We will see. And I think this is where I'll leave it. So until next time, until next week maybe the week after, we will see. We will see. I will just keep saying we will see. Until next time, I hope you have a nice day. Stay healthy. Social distance, wash your hands. Until next time, bye.